What's up, everybody? Krim here for Sleepers for the Week, and it's a little bit late to do this review, but I got sick and then had the holidays, and if you can't tell from my voice, I'm still kind of a little under the weather, but I've made it through, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. And this movie was getting a lot of flack and a lot of hate, and I guess I can see where some people were a little bit confused with how the plot was jumping fast throughout, but for me, it felt like it was like getting a Harry Potter movie without all the fluff, and that's really my only critique about this movie because I really enjoyed this movie. People have really drugged this movie through the mud, and I don't really think it deserves it. I think that it was very enjoyable to watch. I saw it in IMAX with some friends as soon as it came out. It was for a friend's birthday, and we were fans of the first Fantastic Beasts, and it kind of just runs off the fact that you know all the characters at this point. You know the characters introduced in Fantastic Beasts, and you have a pretty good knowledge of Harry Potter and the wizarding world in general. So with that being said, I wanted to bring up some key things that a lot of people were complaining about without giving away any spoilers, because this will be a complete spoiler-free review. But a lot of people were really confused over very simple things that popped up in the film that I didn't really see where they were getting confused, as if you'd seen any of the previous movies, it should make sense. Now, someone did tell me in some comments that they said that a movie should stand alone by itself, that you should be able to watch a movie stand alone and be able to know exactly what's going on. Well, if you've watched any of the Harry Potter movies, you know that that's not the case at all. For the most part, you kind of have to get caught up to speed. It helps to know what's happened in the previous movies. Even when I started watching Harry Potter, which was with I think it was The Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix was the first Harry Potter movie I saw because I wasn't really that into it. I never read the books. I still haven't read the books myself, but that's my first experience with Harry Potter. And watching Fantastic Beasts, I really enjoyed the concept. I really loved the first movie, and I wanted to see where they would go from here. And I'm glad that they didn't hold my hand through this movie. They didn't re-explain a lot of things. Now, I will say that my one critique is the fact that the plot jumps a lot. It goes really fast, and you just have to kind of keep up with it. And to me, that didn't bother me for any reason. I was able to kick back and enjoy the ride and had plenty of fun, if not more fun than I had watching some of the Harry Potter movies. I felt like that they decided to, instead of stretching this one plot over 2 movies or 3 movies, they decided to give you a lot of plot in one movie. And to me, that's much more refreshing, especially since the movie's very long. These movies are over 2 hours long. And when you can make an over 2 hour long movie feel like an hour or an hour and a half, you're really doing something there. I know that a lot of people said this movie felt like a drag and it was confusing and it was so long, but for me, the movie went by like that. So I don't really get where all the hate and the criticism, it was so harsh for this movie. I will admit it's not a perfect movie, but it was fun to watch and I was able to follow it fine. Everything is explained throughout the entire film. Everything that you have questions about are basically answered in this movie. It leaves a couple of questions open because, spoiler, the only spoiler, we're getting 5 movies. We're getting 5 Fantastic Beasts movies. And I'm, for one, am very excited because I like this world that they've built. I like getting to see the wizarding world outside of Hogwarts because, to be frank, Harry Potter takes place all within the walls of Hogwarts. And while that's fun and those movies are great on their own, I was always wanting to know, what are the other wizards doing? What are wizards who are adults doing out in the world? How does that work? And they established rules and regulations in the Harry Potter movies, like how a wizard acts when they're in public. Well, certain wizards don't care. about rules when they're in public. And we all know that wizards shouldn't do magic in front of muggles. It's not allowed. And I saw a lot of people going, why is everyone, why are other wizards not helping during certain scenes of this part, because it's out in the open and blah, blah, blah. And, it's just Newt and this one other person that's an aura, which an aura works for the Ministry of Magic. And it's like, well, number one, the aura has the permission and the rights to use magic if need be, working for the ministry, and Newt doesn't care. So of course he's going to do things even in the public eye if he needs to. He's not governed by their quote unquote rules. So there was just lots of things I saw in reviews that were so nitpicky that it was like, can you just not enjoy a movie? It just felt like everyone expected this to be, I don't know, something more artful, something more dragged out. But for me, I had no issues at all following it. And and I will say this, it doesn't have a lot of beast hunting. It doesn't have a lot of finding fantastic beasts in this film. They could have actually totally done away with the Fantastic Beasts title. I think the reason why they have the title is to separate it from a Harry Potter title. It's always Harry Potter and the blank, Harry Potter and the blank. Well, this was Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. So, I guess every one of them is going to be called Fantastic Beasts and something. But really, all you need to know is that Fantastic Beasts was a build-up. It was the start. It was the origin. It was to introduce you to Newt and people that he knows and interacts with. And from that point on, you're basically supposed to remember what happened in the first film. They don't really go over that again. It just kind of continues. And for me, that was fine. That's all I needed. I remembered what happened in the first film. And the way the plot goes is that it's really centered around Grindelwald. It's centered around Grindelwald and Credence, the character that we thought died in the first film, but clearly per the trailers and if you've seen anything about the movie, he's alive in this film. And it's about this whole new plot. It's this whole new adventure that Newt is now a part of. And he has to put the beast hunting on hold. Not that beast hunting doesn't show up. A lot of people thought that some of the fantastic beasts that show up were kind of gimmicky because it was like, well, the movie's not really about him looking for these beasts anymore. So what's the point of shoehorning it in? Well, that's what he does. Why would you not put in something that relates to the main character, at least at some point in the film? So it does have a little bit of an aspect of collecting fantastic beasts and what have you. But for the most part, it's about Grindelwald. It's about this new villain who's played by Johnny Depp, who does a fantastic job, by the way. It's really interesting seeing Johnny Depp be a villain, and he pulls it off fantastically. No pun intended. But it was just really fun getting to get back into the wizarding world again. And that's why I said I want to keep this spoiler free, but if this is still open and available in the theater, I highly recommend going and seeing this in the theater. I saw it in IMAX and I thought that was the best experience. IMAX always drowns out all the people that talk, it drowns out all the extra noise, and it just gets me sucked into the film. I don't think you need to go see this in 3D. In all honesty, I'm really kind of glad that movies are kind of doing away with the IMAX 3D. I always thought that was kind of a gimmick anyway, but I love the full HD IMAX format with the sound and the picture quality, everything. It just looked amazing. This film looks amazing. If you like fantasy, if you liked any of the Harry Potter films, if you liked the first Fantastic Beasts movie, you're going to like the way this film looks. So I'll have to say that for me, in all honesty, this story, it's going to cliffhang you. So like I said, there's going to be 5 films in this whole set. So there's going to be a continuing story here. In all honesty, I hope they keep going with it, because I would love to see all these movies, even if they go outside of Fantastic Beasts and they introduce more characters, lead up to the events of Harry Potter. I'd like to see that happen. So I feel like I went on a very, very large rant on this. I feel like this is more of a rant than a review video, but I thought that the music was very well done. The soundtrack was great. I thought the plot was good. It was easy for me to follow. It does it does jump around a lot, so I will warn you that the plot does go quickly from one place to another place to another place to another place. But as long as you're paying attention to the movie, you should be able to follow it just fine. And anything that you don't understand eventually gets explained to you. So a lot of people that had issues with that, I feel like they weren't really paying attention to the movie. But for me, the plot was just fine. And I know that there's a lot of Harry Potter fans out there that know certain things about certain pieces of the lore and stuff. This is coming from a complete, I know nothing about the lore. I have not read any of the Harry Potter books. I've only watched the Harry Potter movies and the first Fantastic Beasts movie. And I've heard from other fans that have read the Harry Potter books that they're enjoying this movie, that they enjoyed it, that they're not nitpicking it. They're enjoying it for what it is. I've heard some people say that some things are slightly off here and there, or some things aren't fully gone into or developed. We've got 3 more films. You got 3 more films, right? And the first Fantastic Beasts movie was based off literally a beast manual written by Newt that Harry Potter finds at Hogwarts. So there's no plot there. It's just a monster manual. It's like a D&D monster manual, you know? So for me, I really feel like that I feel like people drugged this movie through the mud and it didn't deserve it. Because, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've gone to the theater and sat through a movie and actually said, wow, I enjoyed that. I actually wanted to go see it again. I've been trying to convince a couple more people to go see it because they liked the first movie and I really want to go see it a second time. So I suggest go see this. If it's still available, go see it. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you liked it or if you hated it. If you have some really valid points about why you didn't like this movie, let me know in the comment section down below. For me, I enjoyed it. And that's just my opinion. I know that some people may not share that, but pretty much everyone that I saw it with in the theater, they liked it. It was for a friend's birthday, so we had a large group. We had a whole row of people that were there that all knew each other in some way, shape, or form, and we talked about the movie afterwards, and no one had really any negative things to say about it. And in all honesty, one person even said, he was like, well, WB needs their good franchise, and this might be the only thing that competes with Marvel. Not saying that this is to the level of Marvel, just saying that, DC not really doing it. And from what I've seen out of this film, this could be WB's franchise. This could be their, cinematic universe. This is what WB should focus on. This is WB's cinematic universe, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So I hope you guys take the time to check it out. If not now, of course, definitely check it out when it hits Redbox, Blu-ray, something like that. If you like the first movie, I feel like you're going to like this one. That's my recommendation, at least. If you have seen the movie, talk with me in the comments down below. And of course, be sure to be wary of spoilers, people. If you do read the comments are not spoiler free, so be careful if you go looking into the comments if you haven't watched the film. So this is just my review. This is my opinion. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, it's not a perfect film, but I had a blast watching it, and everyone I saw it with had a blast watching it too. So I give it a solid 4 out of 5. That's my review on it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Peace.